Well, I don't even know where to begin, but I'll tell you this. I am pissed as hell. Amidst all that is taking place in the world, but more specifically, our country of America, there is very, very little to be happy about these days. Now, granted, we all have our personal joys, family being one of those, so on and so forth. We find the pleasures, the little pleasures in the small things right now. But one of the greatest pleasures I've come to know during the course of this pandemic has been our president's afternoon briefings. And now it is clear they are trying to silence the president. Every day this man got up on stage and made a damn fool of himself for my personal entertainment. And I was thoroughly entertained. I was having a great time. And I got to tell you, on Thursday, on Thursday, he took it to a whole new level. Our president on the world stage took it to an entirely new level, and it was amazing. I was thoroughly thrilled to see his idiocy full force front and center because, in my mind, it is undeniable now, right? It only makes sense. I mean, growing up and having an education and being someone that deciphers good from evil, right from wrong, common sense from nonsense, it was clear. If you tried to hide the fact that he was an idiot before, it was out there now. And I was happy. It was some of the best entertaining television I've ever seen, Mr. President. You had bonkers ratings. Your ratings were through the roof. You the man for that. But now I'm pissed because these people had the audacity. These people around the president who don't ever correct the president, who don't ever tell this man a goddamn thing about anything he is doing wrong, ludicrous, or insane. They tell him nothing. They finally decided to speak up now. Now that he's made a damn fool on the world stage of himself. Oh, wait. What'd you say? This isn't the first time? Oh, this is just the most entertaining time? Oh, just when the freaking show is getting good, they want to kill it for me. So now they tell the president, "Hey, Mr. President, you're doing too many of these things. It's hurting your numbers and a bunch of little whiny little shit." And now the president listened to them. He cut the damn press conference on Friday short, which man, oh, Friday would have been juicy for me. Damn, Mr. President, why you gotta do me like that? But Saturday, nothing. Sunday, nothing. I had to go an entire freaking weekend without any goddamn tomfoolery. Shit is too bleak outside. Too much bullshit is happening for y'all to not allow me to see my favorite television program of the day. The Idiot President. What is wrong with y'all? Do not tell that man don't hold no press conferences. You want to kill my joy? I might already die from this bullshit that's happening and your lack of federal response, which we'll touch on. But then you gotta kill my joy too. I can't spend my afternoon watching this man make a fucking idiot of himself. I can't do that anymore. Because what? Because what? Your political career? Finally, you're thinking of that? Come on, remember how you got there, guys? Not giving a fuck about a political career. Remember, you're outsiders, outliers. Don't go back on that now Mr. President, keep spouting the stupid, hateful idiocy that you do. That got you to the top, sir. Don't stop. Never stop. Won't stop, can't stop. I'm being very serious. I'm laughing because we actually in this country have passed the point of seriousness. Or at least I would have to think so. Because when you look at every other developed country in the world and you compare their response to the American response, if you got two nuts to rub together in your brain, in your skull, excuse me, then you would know something's fucking wrong here. Like, we're supposed to be the wealthiest, best, most prominent, prolific fucking society ever, right? America is a beacon of fucking pride. It's the leader of the free world. It's fucking I'm proud to be an American. Like that means something, right? But yet we have the worst outbreak in the world. We're climbing fast to the most. Oh no, excuse me, not climbing fast. We have the most debts in the world. I mean, yeah, I'm all for America #1, but shit, what? This is the wrong motherfucking category to lead the world in. But here we are. Here we are. And then you look at how the rest of the world is handling it. The things they're telling us, the things they're doing as a government, how most all developed countries are paying for their citizens to stay home, paying for their citizens to stay employed, paying for their citizens to be safe. However, here in America, where we already struggle with our government taking care of the citizens, we offered our big corporations, financial institutions, billions of dollars in bailout money. They had no problem getting that money either. It was right there, right away. Beam, bam, scoop, scap. Money for the big people, money for the people who have millions in the bank, money for the people who have huge retirement savings, you know? But the people that are homeless, disenfranchised, rural, poorer neighborhoods, I mean, $1,200 and don't have no child support because you're not gonna see that. That's gone. I guess if you owe child support, you don't need to eat right now. You don't have no bills to pay right now either. There's no moratorium on rent, light, anything. So $1,200 while people are out of work is insane. It's ludicrous, right? And I mean, it doesn't take a lay person like myself. It doesn't take a homeless person to know that. It doesn't take anybody of any significant intelligence. You could be quite literally a fucking moron, and those $1,200 isn't going to provide you with any type of sustainability in this society for any for any long-term period of time. I mean, depending on where you live, $1,200 is your rent for a month. You know what I mean? Might be a rent in your light. Even if you get past that and not have to worry about that, what is $1,200 really gonna do? How long will that? Even if you are in a fortunate position of being able to spend $1,200 solely on food and amenities, whatever supplies, whatever you need, right? If you're able to spend all of that on the essentials, how many months do you think you'll survive off of that $1,200? How many months of supplies do you think you can really get in today's society? And I mean, they have to know that. The thing is, they don't care about that. That's why you have people that are affiliated with the White House that are sponsoring protests. America would rather You protest in the streets to go back to work because you can't provide for your family, then pay you to stay home and be safe. This country, excuse me, this company cares about its corporations. America is not a country, it is a corporation, a huge freaking corporation that does not care about anyone. It cares about the bottom line. And it's unfortunate because, as a member of this society, as members of this society, we're now faced to deal with this on our own, essentially, because from the very top of the mountain, they're deferring down all the time. The president doesn't want to do anything about it, so he deferred to the vice president, who defers to the Corona task force, who defers to the governors. You know what I mean? Like the governors then defer down to the mayors to some degree. So it's like almost like, because you got to think about it. Say a place like Atlanta, where the governor says, "Yeah, open up," right? So the governor says, "Open up in Atlanta." I mean, in Georgia, and the mayor of Atlanta says, "Nah, y'all need to stay put." Right. So that means the governor or the government, the state government, at the very least, is not going to be paying for those people to stay put. As far as I know, I don't know the hierarchy and what the authority of a mayor, but I don't think the mayor can keep those people home and keep them on payroll to any degree. I mean, sign up for unemployment. Good luck. 26 million unemployed. Probably be over 30 by Thursday. I mean, what are we really doing here? Corona has, oh shit, I said it. Damn. That thing has caused irreparable damage to our society already. But beyond that, it has highlighted the fallacies, the inconsistencies, the hypocrisies that is perpetuated, permeated American society for God knows how long. We talk about being fiscally responsible, but yet we give away trillions of dollars in tax cuts to the wealthiest of people. And then we tax the people working the hardest. That was a big problem from the beginning. This is going to highlight that more. You know, we have a healthcare system that is tied to your job or some other financial institution that is only interested in profiting off of your health. You know, they have no interest in taking care of you. You know, that's why they don't like to accept people with preconditions, because it's not good for their bottom line. You know, the goal is to take on as many people as possible and have to pay out for as many people, as little people as possible. I mean, that's how they make their money. You know, and it's really scummy, man. It's grimy. It's whole system, this everything. It's just been really nasty for a long time, and now we have an outbreak, this pandemic that is just ravaging us, and the people in charge are behind the scenes paying for protesters to hit the streets so we can forcibly jumpstart the economy. Mr. President, bro, first of all, there's no economy without people, man. If people keep going out there and dying, what good is that? Who's gonna buy the stuff you want them to buy? Who's gonna circulate the money in the economy? Who's gonna clean up? Who's going, like, you guys are forgetting you need people for all the things you want, all the little joys and luxuries that you afford, that you're afforded, you're able to maintain. That's people, man. Your gardeners, your pool boys, your all pers. These people, those are people. You can't do anything if they're dead. You need them for a society, a economy, a fucking country, a company to work. You need people. I don't even, and I want to say I don't get the rationale, but I do. I do, and it's disgusting. It's, hey man, we don't really give a fuck if 150,000 of you die. So long as you get these machines turning again, and our businesses are making money again, because all we care about is money, 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 money. Bottom dollar is all that matters in this country. It is really sad. We're supposed to be the best in the world, and something as basic as taking care of our citizens, we can't competently do. So I ask you this: why are we paying taxes? Some pay state and federal taxes. Why are we paying taxes? If the federal government can't rise to the occasion to help people amidst the pandemic, what fucking purpose do taxes serve? Because the same money that we're paying in taxes isn't coming back to us now. It's not helping us. It's helping wealthy corporations, my guy. There was outrage this past week about Roots Chris and Shake Shack and Harvard and all these places taking money. They shouldn't have had access to the money to begin with. And then, secondly, they gave it back because of public outcry, because they were discovered. Can you imagine the companies that haven't been uncovered? The monies that have gone to them? And let me ask you something. Like, because this is something that's really been bothering me. It's on my fucking mind. How many packages does Congress need to pass before they get it right? Like, I think if anything, this just shows us the incompetency of our fucking government. 4 fucking packages, trillions of dollars later, and the American people have $1,200 to show for it. Corporations all across this country, however, have millions already saved, millions more gained, and still small businesses, nothing. They said 43%. That's what studies show. 43% of small businesses will be closed when it's all said and done. But yet we're bailing out Boeing. Bailing out the cruise industry. These are industries that give millions and millions and millions of dollars in bonuses to CEOs every year. And I'm not telling any company executive how to spend their dollars. You earn it, do what you want with it. But when you are a company that gives millions, 20 million, 30 million, $40 million bonuses to your CEOs as a yearly thing for hitting profit margins, you don't deserve a bailout. You figure that shit out, man. That extravagant, lucrative spending that y'all have been doing, figure that shit out. But then y'all give a motherfucker $1,200, and if a motherfucker spend 200 on a video game or 200 on something for themselves to make themselves feel better, right? Oh, they don't know how to they're not frugal with their money. They don't know how to spend money right. We can't bail out people for being irresponsible with money, but yet we do it all the fucking time for corporations. Basically, what every human in America needs to do is LLC their name. Change your fucking last name to LLC. That's simply it. Become a corporate entity in of itself, and then you'll be valued. Now it's on you to grow that corporate entity, but then you'd be valued. As a human, you're nothing but a fucking number in this society, and it's really sad. It's really sad. Anyway, let's go back to my boy and his Thursday speech because it was classic. On Thursday, our fearless idiot in chief got up in front the world and he said, he wonders if there is a way to inject disinfectant into the body to fight the coronavirus, or if there's a way to, get those UV rays from sunlight under the skin to knock out the virus. That's our boy, man. El Presidente. That's some. No, I'm not going to bring that thought up yet. I wanted to touch on this real quick, though, because we've seen for quite some time that all the professional people around Trump have done one out of two things. They've either quit and left out of disgust, or they have cowered in fear, hid in his shadow, and allowed him to twist and contort their moral fiber, whatever was left of it, to the nth degree. And now, anyone next to Trump is basically someone you cannot trust. Possibly with the exception of Dr. Fauci. I mean, and he straddles the line, but he does it very well, and he's clearly trying. He's really trying to help us. So thank God for Fauci. But I wanted to touch on the other half of the dynamic doctor duo in the task force, Dr. Birx, because boy, has this lady embarrassed herself. She has soiled her career to such a degree. It's unbelievable. And I don't know anything about having lucrative careers, but I do know to get up and defend the shit this idiot said is batshit lunacy in and of itself. And I would rather quit and be like, I just can't take this shit no more than to do that. Let's take a listen to what Dr. Birx had to say on State of the Union this weekend.
I get it, and I understand the importance of that study that the DHS official was discussing from the lab in Maryland about the effect of sunlight on having, or even more effectively, the life of coronavirus, the effect of disinfectants on non-porous solids like doorknobs. But that's not what the president was musing about. He was talking about ways to take that science and somehow turn it into injecting UV light or disinfectants into the human body, which, as you know, especially with disinfectants, can be lethal. And the CDC had to issue a statement. Lysol had to issue a statement. I understand that you're taking a generous approach to this when it comes to President Trump musing aloud, but this is potentially dangerous. I mean, poison control centers got calls from people and they had to issue statements saying, do not internally use disinfectants. As a doctor, doesn't that bother you that you have to even spend any time discussing this?
Now, this is Jake Tapper's long-winded as fuck question, because he's really trying to throw her some bail. Before that, like right before that, she answered in a non-answer to a previous question, and it was clearly setting her up the scene like, yeah, the president knew what he was saying and he was saying the correct thing to some degree. So he really is throwing her a lot of rope to kind of like, save herself, like, disavow that shit to some degree. Let's take a listen to what Dr. Birx had to say.
Well, I think it bothers me that this is still in the news cycle because I think we're missing the bigger pieces.
First of all, let's stop right there. She says it bothers her that this is still in the news cycle. Well, let's dissect that a little bit. Why is it still in the news cycle when it was said on Thursday. Let's see. Number one key factor, he's the president. Number two key factor, it was a pandemic response. What is the thing? Press briefing. Excuse me. Number three, he was suggesting people, even if he wasn't suggesting people inject themselves with disinfectant, just to out loud on the world stage live contemplate the potential of injecting disinfectant into a human to cure a virus is dumb as shit. Like, if I had at 10 years old said, Mom, can I drink some Lysol because I feel like my stomach's hurting or because I'm sick and Lysol kills germs, she beat the shit out of me. Like, are you serious? What kind of stupid shit is that, little man? What are you saying right now? That's the type of shit I would get. But yet, our president, the man with the highest authority in the world, seemingly so at least, gets on stage in front of the world and says, inject disinfectant in the human body. So, Dr. Birx, if you are upset it's still in the news is not at fault for that. Think about the homestead, baby girl, because you got this shit fucked up. The news is there to tell us the truth. And the truth is the world is laughing at us because our president is a fucking idiot. But I digress. Let's continue.
Of what we need to be doing as an American people to continue to protect one another. And we should be having that dialogue about asymptomatics. We should be having that dialogue about this unique clotting.
She means the dialogue that our president refuses to have, will never have, does not even contemplate that dialogue.
That we're seeing. And, you know, we're the first country that really had young people to this degree. Italy and Europe is about 8 years older than us as a.
None of the other countries that had infections have young people. I just want y'all to know that, okay? She said that. She said that. I'll rewind it.
Unique clotting that we're seeing. And, you know, we're the first country that really had young people to this degree. Italy and Europe is about 8 years older than us as a median age. So this is the first experience of this virus in an open society where we really can understand what's happening to every.
I'm going to shoot her a little defense and assume that she's referring to the fact that we have certain freedoms and liberties that many other countries do not have. So even though they have their wide berth of young people, and even though their median age may not be where ours is, it's quite different for them. I'm going to shoot her some bail and say that's what she's going for there.
Different age groups. These are the things that we should be talking about and focusing on. So I think as a
again, all things the president refuses to talk about, but let's continue.
Scientist and a public health official and a researcher, sometimes I worry that we don't get the information to the American people that they need when we continue to bring up something that was from Thursday night. So I think I've answered that question.
We're fucking flabbergasted. It happened on Thursday when, if you had no idea at all before, you were fucking privy to the fact that our president is a fucking idiot. And if you knew that already, You're privy to the fact that a lot of people were finding out, and it was a global thing. The man is a moron. He's our leader. Well, he's in our foremost position of leadership. He is not our leader.
And I think the president made it clear that physicians had to study this. I think I've made it clear that this was amusing as you described, but I want us to move on to be able to get information to the American people that can help them protect each other and also help them understand how devastating this virus is to different age group and different symptoms and different comorbidities.
So what you heard there is a tour de force of bullshit. Okay, Mrs. Deborah Burks proceeded to get outraged, not outraged, that's a strong word, to proceeded to be disappointed in the fact that the dumb shit her boss said, our leader said, is still in news cycles. She would like us to forget it. She would like us to forget that he said inject yourself with freaking disinfectant and bleach. She would like us to forget that just last month he was saying this is gonna go away like magic, and she wants us to forget that in April he was saying, in February he was saying April is gonna get hot and the virus is gonna disappear. That's the same fucking playbook all the time. They want you to forget yesterday all the time. And you know what? You can't ever talk about the shit that they do because it's never the right time. What we always need to focus on is what we're going to do moving forward, which is nothing. They're never going to do anything. You know how simple it would be for this administration to simply say, everybody stay the fuck home. We need to do social distancing. We're going to test each and every single person, and we're going to make sure we knock this shit in the butt and not have this contaminate our society. It'd be easy as shit. And you know people will be happy with that if the government paid them a decent rate. Just let them know, hey guys, you're not going to go broke. You're not going to go homeless. You're not going to lose your job. You're safe and secure because we are taking care of you. You are our citizen. You pay taxes. You are a loyal, obedient citizen. We're going to take care of you. But they're not doing that. Instead, you're choosing not to take care of the citizens. Mind you, this is 4 freaking care packages later. And out of those 4 packages, citizens have received $1,200. $1,200. We are the least important factor in their minds. They don't give a shit about us. There's no moratorium on anything. So your $1,200 is still paying bills. What good is that? Of course, people are going to be antsy to get back to work. But that's the thing. That's the beauty of American enslavement. They want you to believe that it is prideful to get back out there, to just be defiant in the face of this virus. We want to work. We support this economy. We want to do our part. We want to make the American dream a thing, right? It's wrong, man. They're sending you to your debts. They're taking a calculated risk that enough of you are going to survive that it won't freaking matter to their bottom line. Ain't none of them are going to be out there with you. They're not going to be out there doing any of that essential work. They're not going to be out there. Hell, Congress isn't even going to go back to Congress and doing their job. But yet they want you to do yours. They want you to go back to making money for them at the risk of your own health. And that is disgusting. And what I really wish people had the wisdom, the unity, and the courage to stand up to these greedy, disgusting individuals, because they're gross. You to sacrifice even one person's life for $1 is ridiculous. Just even one. And they're doing it with thousands of people. Go back to work, man. So now you're stuck in this middle ground as a citizen of America. What do you do? If you need to be out there making money, if you don't have a savings account that'll keep you in your home for the next 3 months, what do you do? What do you do with that? You have to choose to go back to work and expose yourself to this virus, or stay home and earn nothing. Because if you stay home out of concern, they're going to be like, nah, you're being lazy. You don't want to work. You're not contributing. You're not a good, healthy member of society. So that's what they're going to do. They're going to shame you into wanting to protect your life and the life of your family. No one sees a fucked up picture here. No other modern developed country is doing this. I don't care what type of regime they're under. No one is doing this. And as much as you want to talk about America being the beacon of freedom and justice and equality and all this shit, we're not. This is a joke. The president put out some guidelines with his Corona task force, and then he has his people paying. I don't know if they're paying the protesters, but they're funding these protests. I can't imagine they're paying the protesters, but they're bankrolling these protests against his own policies. So it's like, say one thing to me publicly and do another thing privately. And I once wrote an op-ed that I never did anything with. It was why I'm happy Trump became president. Now, make no mistake, Trump is a vile, disgusting human being, and I did not vote for him, nor will I or could I ever vote for him under any circumstances. However, one good thing about Mr. Trump becoming the president is he has exposed the underbelly of America. He has exposed the persistent criminal activity of our lawmakers, and he has exposed just how weak they all are. They have no moral standing, no ethical fiber, and the person that brings the biggest paycheck is who they roll with. And it's really gross. And as vile and disgusting and terrible of a human being as Trump is, he has helped to illuminate that for so many people. If you couldn't see it before, if you thought it was something to ignore, if you thought it was something not worthy of your time, if you thought, hell, you know what, as long as I'm making my money, I'll be okay. You can't do that shit anymore. You can't sit and think that anymore. Because Trump has shown us that this society, the rules, the lawmakers, they're immoral, evil men. They all are. That's why they rally behind him so much. That's why they're so happy to support the things he does. That's why now that he's making a fucking fool out of himself on the world stage, they want to try to hide him now. So they can have another 4 years of this bullshit. But don't get me wrong. Trump is he's not the cause of American problems. These lawmakers are. They've been making laws like this for the longest while. And when Trump ran as an outlier, he wasn't necessarily lying. He was just fooling people because he was running against the establishment and went in there and did more of the establishment shit. What we need is somebody who's really going to stand up for people. We don't have that. We've yet to have that. And don't tell me Democrats are that. Democrats don't do that at all. Democrats are paid losers. Democrats are paid to support Republican agendas, but less aggressively. It's like good cop, bad cop. That's what's happening with Democrats. Hey, what's up, Billy? I mean, they're paid losers. So how can we get eager and excited to support them? How can we get eager and excited to support Joe Biden over Donald Trump? This man supports these corporate bailouts. This man supports leaving us to fend for ourselves. How is he any different? Like, there is no real significant issue between a Democrat and a Republican. They're on the same team. Their goal is to fight against each other publicly, but privately they have drinks together. They're friends. How could you be friends with somebody who is completely against everything you stand for morally? If you have proper moral, ethical fiber, and you see a person ripping off his constituents, stealing from them all the time, you couldn't break bread with that person, sip wine, go to events, laugh it all fucking up. These people, they're criminals. Our Congress, they're the real traitors to our country. They've betrayed us, the American people, and they continue to do it every single day. And unfortunately, many of us, many more of us will die because of this, because of weak, spineless, coward, pathetic human beings that are just grabbing for power. Gimme. I just need some power. For what? To do what with? What are you doing with that power? Helping people? No. You're fucking grabbing money and shoving it into your pockets. When this fucking economy collapses and it is complete anarchy because of the systems and tools y'all put in place, your money will not save you. Indeed, I agree, Billy. I couldn't agree with you more, man. And it's crazy how so many people are blind to it. It's crazy how they think they can continue to break the backs of everyday citizens, break the backs of the masses for their measly dollars. It's amusing how they think they can continue to do that and face no repercussions. But they got away with it this long, right? Why would they think anything otherwise? A lot of people don't pay attention to politics. And granted, yes, 2016 illuminated a lot of things for us. And now this is also illuminating even more things for us. So people are becoming more politically active and aware. I know myself personally have become more politically aware and alert over the last 4 years. Hell, over the last decade, really. Because way back in 2008, they made a big thing about Obama. First black president, yay. And what? What do we have to show for it? You know? ACA? Not even. Really and truly, Obama's legacy is Trump, because the American people put Trump where he is, because there was so much racism left in the underbelly of our society that we just could not stand that black man being the president. So we had to go completely opposite. So we went in the extreme opposite direction with Mr. Trump, and Trump has held true to that. He's everything Obama did, he's really fought hard to undo. So give him credit where credit's due. He's trying to erase Obama. Hell, and half of America wants that anyway. You know, it's really sad. You know what I would like to, where I would like to live? I would like to live in a society where the moral authority is the highest authority in the land. Because what good are laws, rules, a freaking constitution if evil people are making them and controlling them? Okay, let's say the evil people don't make the rules, but they control the rules. What good are the fucking rules? It's only gonna be used to keep us in check, the ones that aren't on their side, and then it's gonna be used to help them, which is what we're seeing. I mean, why should fucking any American follow any laws anymore when Trump has shit and piss on every fucking law you can think of? He wipes his ass with the Constitution, except the Second Amendment holds that baby strong. That first one, not so much. If you're talking in his favor, yes. Against them, no. Other than that, he wipes his ass with that thing. He don't give a shit about it. Come on, man. Why should we, everyday citizens, listen? Why should we? And now we have our citizens out there endangering their lives, protesting against locking down this country and being safe because these people aren't being taken care of. So I'm not mad at them, and I feel like, yeah, I want to be mad. I want to say those people are fucking idiots, but they're not. They're just people who trust in the wrong people. They're trusting in the president, and they're trusting in the people who are helping them organize these protests. They're trusting in them. It's blood curdling when you think about it, man. Like, it's just, I wish people were smarter. Like, smart enough to decipher when you're being bullshitted. Smart enough to decipher when somebody is trying to use your own fervor and disadvantageous situation against you. I wish so many Americans didn't already die, and so many more weren't gonna die, all for the ego of a fucking greasy meatball. Like, I'm so confused because, like, he's not even impressive in any way, shape, or form. Like, physically, no. Looks, no. Speech, no. Mannerisms, no. Financially, no. Like, there is nothing that is impressive about this man. The Apprentice was a fucking ass of a show. And that's his, like, what? Probably his biggest claim to fame outside of real estate, which real estate, he didn't do shit but use his daddy's name. Like, this isn't even a man to be afraid of. So what if he fucking tweets about you? Are you fucking serious? You're so much of a pussy that if he tweets about you, you lose all the fucking ground you stood on? Your legs buckle and you now sit like a bitch? You weak little puny pathetic fucks. Ugh. These are the people that are in charge. I hope that I think that is the biggest hope for me to come from all of this, that people wake the fuck up to the people that they are voting into office and giving power. These people are spineless, puny, pathetic humans that half of them don't even deserve to fucking share the air that regular humans breathe, because we have so much more of an authority morally as individuals, as fucking just decent human beings than they do. Obviously, that blanket statement doesn't apply to anyone on any side of the equation. But they're so weak. I mean, I can name a handful of them right now. Lindsey Graham. He talks so much shit about Trump during their primaries in 15 and 16 and shit like that. He talks so much shit. He talked about how evil Trump is, how corrupt he is, how bad he's going to be for the country and the Republican Party. And yet he's one of the biggest fucking brown nosers right now for Trump. All up in that man booty. How it smell, Lindsey? What you saying, Billy? Two ways the People's Amendment, we the people hardworking power. Yeah, okay. I don't Billy, I don't know about that, my mans, because while I agree with you, it's gonna take awareness. We all have to be aware. We all have to agree. We all have to be on the same page. Like, yo, we're not gonna stand for this shit anymore. And we're not doing that right now. So it would be lovely to see the people stand up, the masses take charge of shit and remind the government that your job is to work for us, not the other way around. And on that note, you know what? This is off topic, but they shouldn't be able to retire from government office. Okay? Every other employee, government or not, has to work to 65 or do 20 plus years in whatever career field they're in. These lazy bums who do nothing for 6, 8, 10 years and get to retire with 80 and 90% of their fucking salary, that's ridiculous. Our political system is completely screwy. It's jacked the fuck up. Nobody should have lifetime appointments in a political position anyway. What is up with that? What? It's a service to the people. You should have a tenure. You should go in, do your tenure, and go back to regular life with the people. But no, they don't do that. Now they putting in all these different amendments and different ways they can stay in office. And then once their term in office runs out, then they go and be hedge fund directors or on boards and make millions of dollars because they gave a bailout to a corporation or they gave a handout to a corporation or they cut taxes for this corporation. Meanwhile, the people suffer. Tell me, how is it fair in any society where a company makes $9 billion in profit and pays $0 in taxes? How is that fair? That's what I want to know. When a person who makes $30,000 a year has to pay their 15%. Yeah, but what do you think is going to come from that, though? You think that's what? I mean, okay. I hope you're right, man, because something's got to change, man. Something's got to change. We can't keep living like this. This country don't take care of its citizens. Takes care of its corporations. We can't keep living like that. Corporations are nothing without its citizens, without its employees. A country is nothing without its citizens. And I hope we as a society wake up to this sooner than later, because workers have far more power than they realize. The people have far more power than they realize. You don't need to be forced into going back to work. You see, these people are so adamant about it because they need you. They need the workers. They can't do that shit themselves. You heard that one lady on the news the other day complaining about how she needed her au pair to be there so she could leave to go to work. Like, we don't have that as normal citizens, man. Like, you people are lost. You don't get it. You don't get what you're doing to us. And I hope that the citizens realize just how little this country cares for them, and they wake up and enact movement to help change that, because for far too long this country has been greedy and hypocritical and just growing and surviving and thriving off the backs of its poor people, and now more than ever those lines are getting even further apart. And I'm not talking about wealth redistribution or anything like that, but everybody needs their fair shake of the American dream. And how does everyone get their fair shake of the American dream? If you continuously enact laws to keep people down, if you continuously provide socialist programs for the wealthy and say fuck you to the ones that need it the most. Come on, man. You can't tell me bailing out those corporations are more important than bailing out everyday workers. You can't tell me bailing those companies out who has millions, if not billions, in their savings and shit for rainy days. You can't tell me bailing them out is more important than bailing out a freaking family that works minimum wage jobs. You can't tell me that. Fuck you. I ain't trying to hear that. It's garbage. And I hope you're right, Billy. I hope we all wake up to that shit and we have something that we can be proud of, man. Because frankly, right now, it's embarrassing being an American. Like, we're all hyphy about the border. Shut the border down. Shut the border down. Ha, ha, ha. Hell, even now, he still takes a lot of freaking acclaim. He strokes his own back about closing the border to China and then to Europe, right? Well, motherfuckers, the world is going to close their borders to us pretty soon. Because once the rest of the world kicks this, if they do, and we still struggling like we are, nobody letting in no Americans. So I mean, I just hope we stop being so prideful about the name American and we start working towards making American mean something beyond just fucking American. What good is that? What good is saying we the best if we not? Do we really want to be that country that lives in a fucking false sense of reality? Saying we the best at everything when we actually the worst. Like this man is touting, oh yeah, nobody's administered more tests than us. Yeah, we have the best testing in the world. And it's like, bro, what are you talking about? We haven't tested 2% of our population, and we have the worst outbreak in the entire planet. Imagine if we tested 10% of our population. Will we be better than the world then? Let's say China is hiding 50% of their numbers. Let's say they're hiding 100% of their numbers. We're still way fucking worse. It's not the shit we want to be leading in, man. Got motherfuckers over there across the ocean being paid to stay home. Meanwhile, we talking about we the greatest nation in the world when we fucking got food lines, man. We got food lines like the Great Depression, man. Come on, man. Is one of 2 breadbaskets of the world. What's the other one? I just don't get it, man. I don't get it, and it's sad. It's sad. That shit really breaks me out. on a daily basis, I go through a wide range of emotions from anger. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes huge sense. And they're about to really fucking be in charge just now because we done fucked up. But on any given day, I go through a range of emotions from anger to fear to depression. I'm afraid. I'm afraid of catching it because I see what the response has been in this country. I know I live in this country. And I'm angry because this is America, man. Like that's supposed to mean something. And right now it doesn't. It just doesn't. Which is why Bernie picked the worst fucking time in the world to leave the race. And now talking about, oh, support Biden. That's a whole nother thing. I'm not even gonna get into that right now, man. I'm really just trying to wrap my mind around all the shit that's going on in this country because it's really unbelievable to me. And I don't know what I can do to make it better. And I think each day is a constant battle of me trying to figure out what more I can do to make this a better society and a better place. So I can only hope that I live through it all and we make it through this and are a better country than when we went in. But I don't know, man. I really don't. But I'm not gonna get into all of those musings right now. Been here about an hour already. I just wanted to get in here and just talk, just go through the process and figure out what's really going on. Anyway, I'm gonna get up out of here, Billy. I really appreciate you coming through, man, and your insightful commentary. I hope you're right, and I hope people really do wake up and I hope so, man. I really do, but every time I need to leave the house for anything, it's like, oh my God. I feel like I'm gonna have a nervous breakdown. I do. I take it every day. Every day. But yeah, man, I'm gonna get up out of here. I appreciate you stopping by. This is Just Talk, man. I'm out of here. Y'all be safe. Billy, be safe, man. Appreciate it. Love.